So serious, you could have been a dogs.
Sorry, it takes a while to open this one.
Wait a minute.
We've got to have it at the same time.
Best man, Batman. Cheers.
To courage of the Dutch variety.
I think I'll need that before your speech.
I'm leaving mine open too. Ladies, gentlemen, friends and family, it has been a great pleasure to be here with you all today, and I really mean that. It very nearly didn't happen. Very nearly didn't happen.
St. Wendy.
Thank you very, very much for sticking with it last Friday. From the bottom of my heart, that was almost a catastrophe from my perspective, but yeah, again, so happy to be here. Naturally, when it came to Adam picking his best man, I was not his first choice.
That's not fair, you're about 8th.
Is it my speech or yours?
I've had a few rums, what can I say?
Not just rum, but other things too. You may regret me not being your first choice, but we shall see. We shall see. 7 years ago, as it happened, roughly 7 years ago.
Sorry.
Let's get him out. Let's get him out. She might be.
She's like,
Oh,
she's
the
trying to
flipping
cut.
sausages.
Sorry.
Carry on,
Right.
Carry on,
It's a
regardless.
puppy.
You start speaking, Matt, and she's going to be sick.
Sounds oddly familiar. About 7 years ago, roles were reversed. Adam was my best man. Over in Holland, as it happens. And I warmly remember he spent weeks crafting his speech. I said weeks, I meant minutes.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. No. He had the room laughing. He brought tears to their eyes. I was very proud that he was there on my day, as was my wife. She approved, of course, that he was my best man. Oh, sorry, one of. But yeah, him having spent weeks doing it, I'm married and have 2 young boys, so I didn't have the time to spend that. In fact, I finished it yesterday. Now, it's also been an honour to meet so many of you today. I met a lot of you yesterday, but for those I didn't, lovely to see you today. And thank you for coming, even though you knew I'd be making this speech. On that same day, so many years ago, the person we had there hosting our ceremony asked Mandy a couple of questions. And the first question was, what's your impression of Chrissy? That's my wife, for those of you who don't know her. You may have met her, she's on the balloon over there. What's your impression? What have you seen today? And I think your response was along the lines of, she looks beautiful, she looks amazing, she really does look fantastic. I agreed, of course. He then asked you, Mandy, does Chrissy inspire you? And you said with no hesitation, no. It was at that point I wondered whether this day would ever arrive. I am very happy that it has. I am very happy that it has. Also on that same day, and I wish to repeat the advice that they gave, 2 good friends of ours who are not here today, Emily and Martin, were asked, you guys have been married for a couple of years already, what is your secret? Emily, what is your secret? Mandy, do you remember what she said?
No.
Her word was communication.
Oh, yeah.
Adam, what did Martin say?
Agree.
There we go.
How do you think I got here?
Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Despite the rum, don't forget it. Now, thinking back of our lives together, Adam. Here it comes.
Hello.
Very, 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 very many fond memories. One of which I've continued so far, and if you two ever get that far, you must also continue, was you are only as old as you feel. When I was 4 and you were 2, give or take, we were in the bath together. We were 4 and 2, come on. Dad came home from work and without any hesitation, fully clothed, jumped in the bath with us. We both love thinking back on that one. And again, I've already done that with my two. If you two ever get that far, I hope you do, but it's your choice. But if you get that far, do it.
Cats don't like being bathed.
I don't care. I don't care. If they're in the bath,
Oh
get
yeah,
in
we're
with them.
fine.
I have to say the look on both your faces. You have this picture.
We'll never forget
The
it.
problem is, in the days we're now living in, my two saw it coming. I sat there for about 5 minutes getting a phone out of that pocket, a phone out of that pocket. They knew what was coming. It didn't work the same. So that's a note. Make sure everything's out of your pockets before you go in the bathroom. There was also, a couple of years later, we were sat at the kitchen table, and I can't remember if there was any special occasion or not, but Dad was telling a joke. It happened to be a good one.
This was just before. This was an average day before school.
Sorry, Dad's laughing because he knows it's happened. It happened to be a good one. Now, I was sat on one side of the table. I had an escape route. On the other side of the table, Dad was at the point where he could get out. Adam was pinned in. There was no way he could get out. He was backed against the wall, literally. At the point that Dad gave the punchline, I can't even remember what it was, I had a mouthful of Coke.
Oh.
He saw it coming a mile off. Dad gave the punchline and slid out the way. Adam just sat there going, oh crap. I gave this jet of Coke that went directly forwards, and as he got up and walked away, you could see the outline of Adam on the wall behind him. It was a beautiful moment that I think back on fondly.
Me too, mate. Apparently.
Shockingly. Now, some of you may have also heard the story of when we had a wonderful holiday out in the British Virgin Islands.
Never.
Now,
Masons.
Adam, my wife and I had gone to a bar on the land and had helped ourselves to a few cocktails.
Shirley Temples.
Yeah. And when we came back, we were somewhat inebriated, and we reached our boat. We were on a little dinghy going out to our boat. Now, when we got there, I decided I was going to be the first to get out, and being the heaviest of the three, comfortably, back then, Adam didn't see it coming, and he thought he was getting out first. So as I stepped off the dinghy and he didn't see it coming, he was half standing up and decided to pivot into the water. He blamed me, of course. It was all my fault. I accepted that. That was
very dainty.
fine.
Very dainty.
No, dainty was not a word I would use. But the punchline to that story was the next morning when I think it was Dad that was up first. Almost wet himself laughing. He worked out very quickly what had happened because Adam had laid out each individual cigarette and hung them up with clothes pegs so they would dry off. All of his dollar coins were laid out so that they would dry off and be usable the next day. And the entire contents of your wallet and everything else you had in your pockets was all, daintily hanging with inside the boat. That was quite fun.
You actually, the punchline to that, if you recall, if I can remind you, was when Chrissy showed me a photograph of Adam being pinned with a couple of clothes pegs to his ears, also to the guardrail.
I'm still smiling now. I think
You didn't look all that sober at that time, I say so.
I think
I'd
the fact that I
forgotten
had pegs
that
on my
one.
ears is accreditation to the painkillers out in the BVIs, I have to say.
That was a good evening that we've forgotten most of. There was one other memory that springs to mind, and I've promised him for years that it would come up at his wedding, and we're here. Have any of you...
Are you going to apologise to him
No.
first? No, okay.
Is there anybody here that does not know the warthog story?
Oh.
I know
don't know
Masons
warthog
don't
story.
count.
No, none of us.
I don't know
None
the
of you.
warthog
Okay,
story.
good. I am so happy that
How
I
have I
had Dad
kept it a
set up,
secret
put
for
his
8
hand up in
years?
case you said you did know it. So it was at Chris's 21st, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Our cousin Chris Angel's 21st birthday party. Adam was 13 or 14 at the time.
12.
12.
You need to start off the story in the British Museum.
Oh, no, I don't. That's the part of the punchline. You can't give the
Okay.
punchline before.
Okay.
That's the way I tell it, Dad. Come on. It's my speech.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
On the way to the party, Adam was told he already had a little bit of a taste for beer. A little bit. And he was told, be sensible and it'll be fine. my cousin organised my brother to receive flaming drambuis that night. It went sideways. And the end of the evening finished with my brother dangling off the balcony in a sleeping bag saying, "I love everybody except Uncle Jeff," because he's a warthog. Dad and I were in absolute tears on the floor because we knew the background. And the rest of the family laughed but were confused. And I'll now explain. A couple of years before that, we had gone to the Natural History Museum, Adam, Dad and I. And we came round the corner, and at the end of the corridor that we were in, Dad went, "Oh look, it's Uncle Jeff." And it was a stuffed warthog. Why that came up when he was drunk beyond belief at the age of 12, I have no idea. But again, Dad and I were positively rolling on the
Oh,
floor.
that was one of the funniest moments of my life.
I'd like to blame my intelligence for that, but I think it's just a brain fart, to be honest with you.
I don't care what it was hysterical. And I promised you it would come up at the wedding.
Yeah. I think it comes
There
up
it
every
is.
time we meet, to be honest with you, but yeah.
Now, hearing these stories, you might fear that Adam would lead Mandy astray.
I'm sorry.
There are a couple of stories I could share, but I think for keeping it PG, then I won't. The one that did spring to mind was a fantastic vacation we had last year in France. We really did enjoy that, all together. What was there, 8 of us in total? So you two, Mum, Dad, myself, Chrissy and the boys. Mandy, possibly with a bit of nudging from Adam, I don't know, but she brought along about 40 different whiskey bottles, all small ones, but still 40 of them. All you. That was a good hangover, that was. But and again, you might think that Adam's the one that leads her astray. Don't be fooled.
There's a good reason we lasted this long.
As you've already heard a couple of times, we are incredibly happy to have accepted you into the family, well and truly, but there's one initiation test you still haven't passed.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dun,
You
dun,
keep
dun.
putting it off and putting it off. You keep going to the tent. You need to sleep for one night with the family on Breeze.
My wedding present to you is that you never have to put up with 4 people snoring in the same bed.
Three bags to bed on peace of mind.
I'll
for
do it.
regatta.
I'll do it.
Peace
I'll
of
do
mind.
it. I'll sleep on peace of mind though.
Just Mandy.
Just fall asleep on Breeze, wake up 10 minutes later,
Come on, peace of mind. Yeah.
Or just
Have
want
an-
everyone to be too drunk to remember. and
Have
then
an
just go and
afternoon
find
nap on Breeze.
Good afternoon, nap.
For
Yeah.
anyone that hasn't already
Yes.
connected the dots, the reason for that is the snoring.
Yeah.
It's not so much of a snoring, it's more of a, vocal
Cacophony.
quartet once we get started. To the point where, I kid you not, Adam has left the boat to go and sleep in a car before.
This is true. I'm the worst contender on it as well.
I didn't think Liz was that bad.
She purrs.
She
Yeah,
purrs.
like a T-Rex. Love you, mummy.
But that aside, you've been, as Dad already mentioned, a fantastic crew on Breeze. Not only have you been a crew, you've helped us win a few very important trophies, including, I believe it was 2 years ago, the air navigation race, and my God, what a race that was.
That was awesome.
That was fantastic, and
One
it
of
was
the best days of my
wonderful.
life.
Yeah.
Next to getting in the bath with us.
Well, absolutely, yeah.
And your marriage. Sorry, bad cough. Bad
Oh,
cough.
that's, yeah, well,
Shall I move on?
my memory was bad, I've forgotten that.
It was wonderful to share that with you as well. It really was. That was a hell of a great day. I know that our competitive nature somewhat takes over for the majority, but you bear with us and get on with it. It's impressive that you have the stamina to do that. It really is. That's the end of the first page.
Anybody go for 30 minutes on this week?
Well, there's one for me too. I
Oh,
missed
yeah?
out on that. I would have
Yeah.
put money on about 15. Wait, how? I'm not
Do
counting.
we get an interlude?
No.
You're 14:22.
That wasn't bad on 15, but we're still going. Now, wait, that was 1 page worth. That's impressive. A couple of thanks. I know that, Adam, you've already done some, but I wanted to echo those thoughts. To Grandma and Granddad, thank you very, very much for lending us your garden. It has been a wonderful location. And please, everybody, give a round of applause. It really has been fantastic. I think you've put up with an invasion for about 4 or 5 days this week already.
Yeah.
I think there might be another one tomorrow to help clean up, so sorry in advance.
Been very interesting and very
I'm very happy to hear that you've enjoyed it too. Not just today, but the build-up.
I think you've enjoyed laughing at us from the window.
Good, good. No, I'm very glad to hear you've enjoyed that. I would also like to compliment Dad on the swing. I know that there have been many helpers. I've painted some of it myself. I'm not taking credit, I'm just telling you. But Mum has also assisted, but with getting it constructed, getting it designed,
Sorry.
getting it put together, and on time.
Would have been a little bit of a failure if it wasn't on time. Really.
You
Be
did,
ready tomorrow.
Taking the edge off.
you did it, it's there, and as Adam said, it was the centrepiece of the ceremony today. It looked superb.
Thank you, Matt.
Well done, and again, please, a round of applause. It was.
I have my order book with me if anybody wants any garden furniture. My prices are reasonable.
Is that the first time any Chatterboro's been on time?
Probably, yeah.
Potentially. We were late
No.
for the wedding this morning.
Ostensibly, we were about 2 hours late, but we won't hold it against him.
The Chettleburrows were actually early today compared to the Farnells.
That's true, sorry.
I think that needs to go in the history books.
Yeah.
We were there at 9:05. We had 25 minutes to spare.
Mandy
This
calls.
has never happened before.
We were there at 25 past.
You were still on time.
We were still on time,
We
yeah.
didn't get to the registry office on time, but at the car park we were
It
good.
was like 1 minute.
Also going to echo Adam's words for you, Mandy. You're looking fantastic today. Credit to your support for getting you that far. I'm amazed you sat still for 2 hours. I don't believe it's 2 hours. Did you film that? I want to see proof.
She was up and down sometimes. We had a little food break in the middle.
Still enough to get ready. Looking superb.
Thank you.
And Ellie. Master of all trades today. You were a witness this morning. Bridesmaid of sorts, helping with the preparations. Ceremony master? I'm not quite sure.
I like that ceremony
Ooh.
master.
Master of
yeah.
ceremony. I'll go
That's
with that.
the
I'll go
one.
with that.
Yeah.
And filming. Don't break the camera, please. You've done amazing today, and you've looked superb as well. Thank you very much for
That's
all that
all
you've done
right.
today. It's amazing. The penultimate thank you, Wendy.
Yeah.
Saint Wendy. I will carry on thanking you for years for getting me here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all I'm saying. Please, round of applause. Thank you.
You may be drunk, so we'll let you show our appreciation.
No, I will thank you when I'm sober, when I'm drunk, everything in between. And Adam, I am really, really happy that you had nothing to do with picking what I was wearing today. And that was all Mandy, and that you delegated that task. No, that's not true. Mandy chose.
Yeah.
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 Okay. In closing, I promise. To our best friends, those who are present and those who are not, who know the most about us, and keep it off YouTube. To our family and friends for joining us today, again, despite the fact that you knew I was making this speech. Thank you. Happy are those people who find a true friend. Happier still are those who marry them. To Mr. and Mrs. Chatterborough. Give me your soppy bugger. I'm not crying, you are.
Still makes me laugh. I've got a tiptoe and I.
I fit under the arm.
That's much better. I have to go down for you. Love you, darling.
That was lovely.
Aww.